welcome to episode 58 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who never tries to force a bad joke on his listeners. Coming to you from Naboo, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and back on the show is the show's ray of sunshine, Alison Villa.
Hi!
I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, Tom Higgins, Patricia Baisden, Bree, Hanky, Jen Ben, and Elliot Feldy. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to and want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. There are other ways you could be more involved with the show. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it's a great way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. We also have a Discord channel where you can chat with me and the other members of the community, so come join us. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. The Kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded on Wednesday, January 8th, 2020! We are in the roaring 20s, and we are going to make it like all the flappers have made it through the last 20s. We're going to make it even more flappy. Flappier than Flappy Bird. That's right.
More super flappy.
Yes. So it is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. All right. Let's get into it. Introductions were quick, out of the way, and let's get into the Week in the Kingdom. Allison, how was your week?
Yes. Whether it was this week or late last week, I think I finished the whole main storyline.
Woo!
So, yeah,
Look at you.
It feels weird. I finally was able to welcome Dumbo in, and then, there's a couple of quests there, and I'm not sure, because I remember you saying you thought you finished it, and then you didn't finish it, and then it came back. So I don't know if, as I keep leveling them up, if there's going to be more Kingdom quests, but right now I don't have any. It's very weird.
Although we've come to the end of the game. All right, keep going.
Weird. But I have so much leveling to do still from like all the other event characters. A lot of my main storyline are pretty highly leveled, all the way till probably Jungle Book. I've got everybody pretty high up there, but I did recently also welcome Bunny. I was just kind of waiting. Yeah, I was kind of waiting to welcome him until I wanted to get to the end first and then like pick him up afterward. And so I welcomed him in, but because he's a conflicting character, I knew that I would be able to collect for his very next level, in a way that wouldn't conflict, while I had a gap before new characters were being welcomed in and whatnot.
Sure.
So he's just kind of hanging out at level 1.
Right? Hey, but he's there.
Yeah, he's there. So it feels weird. I don't have all the premium content, premium characters for the main storyline, but I have some. But for all the normal, regular welcome, or able to welcome characters from my main storyline, yeah, they're all in my park now. So
feels good.
Yeah, that's like my big accomplishment lately.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have the Western Arcade?
I don't know. No.
There's one or two. There's 2 different attractions that will give him drops. For Bunny, so you can start collecting for him. I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not going to start pulling Google Docs down.
I've got a lot of the, what is it, the rocket ship?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I have like all of those. I think like they're not dropping anymore from anything. So either that was when DMK decided, okay, we're gonna like cut you off after a certain amount or what. Right. But I have a lot of those. It's his ear hats. So but I've got there are a few different, because I looked it up recently, there are a few different attractions that I think they have to be like level 3 or 4, and then they'll drop his ear. So I'm working on it. I've been doing some building enchantments lately. So I've done a couple for I did one for the Alice in Wonderland set.
Really?
The Tweedle's Swacky Fairway, I think I did. Yeah, because I don't have them maxed out yet. So I'm still collecting for like Caterpillar, for instance. And
Good.
so that attraction drops his ears hat. So I did that. And then of course I did some for the event. You know.
Which Star Wars attractions do you have enchanted?
I think I have resistance speeders. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Am I saying that right? And then I've got whatever the premium attraction was. That one.
There's the Resistance X-Wing.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are two different ones, right?
What do you mean?
Let me go there. There's like Resistance speeders and then the X-Wing.
Yes, the Resistance speeders was is just a regular.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I'm checking now. So I did not do the Cantina and I did not do the Tread speeder base. I did the Resistance speeders and the Resistance X-Wing.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
So I did both of those. And
did you buy a bundle or did you just naturally get them?
Nope. I just lucked out, I think, and I got enough Star Wars relics to be able to do it. So I try to keep enough common tokens around or common blueprints around, specifically for events. So like right now I've got like 33 common blueprints. So I won't do anything. I won't upgrade another one from my park until I have 40.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely.
I always want to have one, or I always want to be able to have it if in a pinch if I need it to be able to level it.
I couldn't agree more. I absolutely keep the same philosophy of always making sure I have enough common blueprints to, I'd say enchant 2 things around an attraction. I like to keep a minimum of 40.
Yeah.
So that I'm ready, and I can enchant during, because it makes a big difference.
It does.
They really focused on making enchanting a very important part of events, and then even after events, it just makes things go a lot smoother when you're consistently getting, an item.
To be able to collect, it's like passive collecting. I like that a lot.
Yep.
You are collecting it passively. Like you're not specifically sending your characters out to get those tokens. Just every time you collect from that building, it may drop the thing that you need. So.
Yep.
I like that.
It's always nice when you click Merlin and stuff is there.
So much stuff.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
What else?
And then my lifetime visitors leaderboard, I am now at 75,824. Yay!
That's great, Allison. You're really moving on up.
I am. So, I also got all of the concessions for the event. So I got the blue milk stand. I did not think I was going to get that thing.
Wow.
But it came up in a concession chest or whatever that I had just floating around in my park. Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I tried really hard to get the Ernesto hat stand during the Coco event, and that just eluded me. So
you were doing so many like things like keeping things around and chests and this and that. You were really working hard
until the very last minute to update.
Yep.
I was like, just in case I find another concession chest in my park, maybe it'll drop it for me. It did not. So
I after the Dumbo fiasco, and then I decided I wasn't gonna really try to spend more money on concessions.
Yep.
And because they were always just part of the event, and then they became part of chests. And then once the green cream soda stand eluded me during the Princess and the Frog, and I was using gems to buy that. Like you could buy like 1 chest a day, with gems and that, and I literally purchased it every day. And I didn't get the soda stand. I was like, all right, I've had enough of concession stands, and I'll just kind of.
Not today, DMK. Not today.
I take it as it comes. I did get the blue lightsaber stand,
nice.
in a chest as part of a reward for a leaderboard event. So I'm
Yeah.
very happy to have it in my park, but I just, I don't have Alison luck to get all of the stuff.
I can't help it, but I'll take it. I'll take my luck.
I'm telling you, Alison, one frozen chest, you're gonna get Elsa's costume. 60 gems.
I don't want to waste them. Well, I did try. When I tell you I get something, there are a lot of times I don't get stuff. Like I tried to get Sally again this time around, but I was only wasting gems on one chest for that because I've tried to get Sally the past like 3 or 4 times. Nightmare Before Christmas chests have been up, and she's never gonna drop for me, like ever. I got a stupid evil bench. Like, whatever. I would rather have a concession than a decoration, because at least that'll get me some magic or something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's kind of been my week. I'm just kind of waiting for Kylo Ren's chapter to open up and tapping all these spiders.
My week was pretty similar. Lots of side quests. My canon quests are done. So lots of Star Wars side quests, other side quests, and just kind of playing through the game. Other than that, I'm just kind of going with the flow. As far as that goes, for building upgrades, I did upgrade the Resistance X-wing. Absolutely, it was a fantastic choice for upgrading to get the Hux ears and tokens, really to help move this chapter along. I also actually just upgraded the Stone Giant Waterfall.
Oh, cool! What does that drop for you? From
the new Frozen stuff.
Yeah.
And that, let me just double check before. Yeah. I believe it's, it's the tokens, the Fire Emblem tokens for.
Oh,
for the Fire Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he drops that. So it's pretty cool. I'm thinking possibly doing the Water Spirit Wave Ride. I only need 3 more Frozen relics.
Oh, nice.
So that will get Riders ear hats.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. The newer stuff makes the most sense for me as a more experienced player to enchant because I get stuff out of it. So, but yeah, no, I'm super excited. So I got some building upgrades. So that's exciting. I probably, if I rearranged my park right now, I bet you I could get to Thrill Zone level 3.
Cool.
But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just don't.
But it's curated the way that you like it.
Right. I like it the way it is. Things are thematic. I don't want to kind of have a mishmash just to get the Thrill Zone level 3, and I have nothing to do with my magic.
Yeah. See, I still do. I still have expensive characters to level, but also I still don't have the $2 or $3 million plots yet either. Yeah, or dollar magic.
Alison,
it's like dollars.
It is. It's Disney bucks.
Yep.
No,
so I still have those 2 plots left to buy.
So it supposedly, from the mathematics, it does generate you more magic per collection. So you might want to think about possibly moving your stuff around.
Interesting.
See if you have it.
I might do some screenshots then. If I do that, then I could remember where everything was.
The question is, Alison, do you like to move it?
Not as much as you might think. It really is a pain in the butt, because all of your characters have to be out of the buildings. That's the biggest irritation. You can't move them if they're in there.
Yeah, whenever I've planned to do park rearrangements, I've always done it first thing in the morning. Because
you've collected for everybody and they're just hanging out.
Yeah, I send my characters out throughout the day, and then as it's getting later on in the day, I just make sure that I'm only sending them out so that everyone will be done by the time I wake up. And then when I collect everything, I put everyone away, and then I just rearrange.
Right.
So it takes a while. It's no easy task by any means.
It does, and don't get me wrong. I love the feature now that we can tap one square by square. I use it all the time. I love that. But even still, sometimes with the angle, it's hard to see. Am I back there all the way? I can't tell. Could I? You know what I mean? Or could I fit something else in here? Because I have Thrill Zone level 2, so I'm getting the. I did try and rearrange it a little bit because I just threw crap in there, Steven, just to like cover my bases. Like, you know
Yeah.
what my big problem is with that zone is that I have too many attractions in it. Because you only need, I think, 22, and I have like 30.
Right.
So I could pull attractions out and put, what is it, like statues or whatever in
Well,
there.
are you at least at thrill zone level 2?
Well, yeah, because I'm getting the wishes,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
good. So, right.
Yeah.
So you need more attractions. That's what you need. You need to get enchanted attractions.
Oh, okay, wait a second. I'm getting confused then because what's the one where it like doubles your magic or like does like 50% more magic?
Level 3. Level 3, it gives you that boost. But you have to
So,
have all those enchanted attractions in there.
yeah, but don't you also have to have everything checked off?
Yeah, everything.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Do you have things that are not checked off and you have all the enchanted attractions in there?
No. So what I don't have in there are statues. I only have like one or two of the like or monuments or whatever they're called, because they take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But I have 30 attractions in there.
Yeah.
When you only technically need to have 22.
Right. So you need to rip some attractions out. You need to put some enchanted attractions in. You need to put some statues in.
Maybe I'll do that after I buy my 2 million plot.
I think that's what you need to do. How close are you to 2 million?
See?
Yeah.
How close am I?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm under 1 million. So
you're not even halfway there.
Well,
not even living on a prayer.
No, not even close. I'm at 609,000. So yeah, gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a bit.
Okay. Well, we've sure blabbered a lot about our weeks in the kingdom. That sounds like we've had a really good time. Let me just go real quick. Leveling. To be honest, even though I've been keeping my eye on the token conflicts list. I haven't been leveling it. I've just been sending people out for 24 hours. I've just had less time over the holidays, over New Year's, getting ready, getting back to work. So my time's been very limited when I go into the game. I still check it every 2-3 hours, but when I go in, I want it to be quick. So I didn't want to be collecting a lot right now. So I'm going to start picking up the pace for leveling, probably when the event is on its tail end. But my leveling's just been 24-hour characters, so at least I'm knocking them out. I think I have Chip Potts going right now, and I think he will finish my he will max out my Beauty and the Beast collection.
Nice.
So that's a nice capper off right there. All right, so that's it for our weeks in the kingdom. We hope you had a really great week in the kingdom. We hope you had an awesome 2019 in the kingdom. Yes. And we hope that the other 51 more weeks are awesome for you in your kingdoms as well. All right, let's move on into Newcomer Tip of the Week.
Yay!
Alison,
yes.
What do you got for us?
So I actually did see somebody post this in a different DMK group, and they were asking about what the best, when would be the best time to do your long level ups. And how to use scrolls when you do that. And so some people were saying, some people don't level at all during events. I feel like you have to. Like, when else do you have the time? And as we continue having more and more characters in our kingdoms, you've got to keep ahead of the leveling, right? So, my take on it was this. When I have a gap of time between whenever I am in between, like when I've just finished one portion of the storyline and I'm waiting on the next portion to unlock or open up to like collect for our next character for the event. So like in this case, I had like 3 days between when I finished the end of this portion of the event story to when Kylo Ren opens up, for example. And so I have this gap of time. So what do I do with it? Okay. I make sure that as I am choosing who I want to level, because I have 3 days. I can either do 3 sets, really, because you can use your scrolls and do 2 at a time. 3 sets of 24-hour level ups. That means I could possibly level up 6 characters in those 3 days before Kylo Ren is unlocked. However, one of the things I've been doing right now during the event is looking at those characters who do not conflict with the event, that are at level 8, ready for level 9. So you're talking, that's your 18-hour or 16-hour level up, right? Because that's the most amount of tokens that you need to collect for that character. And I've got character sets sitting here not doing anything. They're not collecting currency. They're not collecting tokens for anybody. So the way that I did it, Stephen, was in the very beginning of the event, I sent every character home that was not being utilized in the event. That way, as I was able to find these gaps in the event story, I would choose one of my characters from a set that's not being used. So, for instance, I wanted to do Dr. Facilier from the Princess on the Frog set. I could level him up from level 8 to level 9 and pull all of my Princess and the Frog characters out all at the same time to specifically collect for him. Otherwise, they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. And that was the best use of maximizing my time. So I did that with my scrolls also. That's how I did my scrolls. So I would choose 2 characters from different sets that were not conflicting with the event, and I would pull out those character sets and work on them. Because then I'm not just focused on the event. I'm able to also get other character sets leveled up at the same time. And I have been leveling up like a mad woman this entire event.
Good.
Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's worked out great. So I'm super thankful for Matt Rodriguez for posting right away the list of conflicting characters, and for the Reddit graphic that shows us, who conflicts and who doesn't. It's so helpful when you are trying to decide who you're going to level. I reference it so many times during events. So,
I couldn't agree more. This is the one. This is an exception for me. But honestly, if this is a newcomer tip of the week, absolutely you should be leveling during every event. There is no reason not to. We, Alison, Matt, work really, really hard to provide the information for conflict lists as soon as every chapter opens. So when a chapter opens that the next chapter isn't gonna be around for 6 days, right?
Right.
So if you're at starting out and you have Mickey Mouse to level to 9, or I don't know, someone, you think about the character you have and say, if I level this character, can this character be done in 6 days? Can I get this done before the next chapter opens, so I know I'm not going to conflict.
Right.
And do it, and then just keep leveling. There's no reason when you have a list of everyone that's conflicting, there's no reason for you to not level people that you can be done with by the end of, before the next chapter.
I mean, Stephen, I even do it like, okay, so say like when we were welcoming Ray, I also follow the walkthroughs pretty closely as well. Monica posts the walkthroughs in one of the other DMK groups on Facebook. And I'll follow her walkthroughs pretty closely, because then I'll know, okay, Ray needs to be level 3 by this time. Okay, so I'm like, I look through that and I'm like, okay, but there are these couple of tasks that need to happen. And then I'll match that up with, okay, how long are the tasks versus how long until I can get her last token? Or like, say I only needed one more ear hat token for her. And I'm like, okay, well, that's going to take 4 hours or so.
Right.
All right, well, in 4 hours time, then I can level Ray up. So, well, in the meantime, I've got 4 hours of dead time. So I'll look through my character list of, okay, who has a 4-hour level up I can do that doesn't conflict with the event. All right, let's do that one. Jack or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
level them up. So I'm trying to utilize all that time. So even when people say, oh, I don't level I don't level during events because I'm afraid I won't have time for my event characters to come through. Keep a watch on, when they need to be leveled up to that particular time and when your last token for them will hopefully drop, and level accordingly. I do small levels. I just like to maximize my time if I've got a big gap and do my longer levels. But in between, I'm doing 1 hour level ups. Anybody who's lower.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll knock those out.
And because you can collect for them fast. They don't need a lot of tokens.
Right. It's the perfect time. Yep.
So another kind of twist into that, just to poke the bear one more time on this, is something that you actually taught me, Allison, and has stuck with me. This goes back to Ralph. Was that Ralph is only common tokens, right?
Yes.
And so leveling him is so fast because you get your drop 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. So every event has that common guy, right? And then you have uncommon tokens, so during events like this, I try to stick to leveling the common and uncommon and no more than rare characters.
Yes.
Because I try to make it so that when the next chapter unlocks that I'm almost done or done with leveling so that I'm not worried about conflicts.
Right.
So that's why
they're fast collectors.
Right, so that's why it's fast. However, twist that around, and then as soon as an event ends, I immediately start going for epics, legendaries, those type of characters, because you have an extended period of time. So and then you can collect. So you send out Dumbo, and Dumbo's going out, and he has got legendary. So you know that you're just going to be sending people out. He's done. Right. So then you pick someone else who's Facilier, who's epics, double epics. You send him out. Then you know your Princess and the Frog character is going to be tied up for a long time.
Right.
Then you send someone else out. And so you're just kind of maximizing, time because you're going to need to level these guys up anyway. So it's really, when you think about time management and the way and the flow of this game, there's actually a lot of intricacy to it that to master it.
Yep.
It's like Othello. It takes a minute to learn, but a lifetime to master. So it's very interesting.
I also wanted to kind of tag on to what you were saying there. For new players who are still working on the beginning portions of their main storyline. So if your Mickey and Friends, for instance, are not maxed out, or your Toy Story characters are not maxed out, in between events is typically the best time to do that because, well, think about your characters that are also collecting event currency right now or collecting tokens right now. Mickey, you can't level him during an event. He's being used for either collecting tokens or event currency or things like that. So when can you level him? You have to do it in between. So, those lower level characters, or like the first couple of storylines through probably what would you say? Monsters Inc. maybe? Those types of characters, leveling those in between events, that's the absolute best time, I think.
Yeah. So, all right. So the next thing, let's keep moving, and start talking about the storyline. So let's just pull this up here. Okay, so actually, there's a couple of things we got to talk about real quick. So someone pointed out on Reddit, and I realized that they're absolutely right, that Bonsai's bone and Shenzi's bone are wrong. Bonsai's bone is actually the one that Shenzi wears in the movie, and Shenzi's bone is the one that Bonsai wears in the movie. I went to Gameloft. I said, hey, are you going to fix this? They said, actually, it is planned to be fixed in the next patch. So, there you go. Cool. No bone issues. There's been another thing going on that...
no bones about it.
No bones about it. I have other jokes I can make which would be completely inappropriate for a Disney show. All right. One other thing to mention is that a lot of people were talking about Elsa's costume. and how they don't really like the fact that it's in a legendary chest and whatnot. And so Disney Magic Kingdoms has said in their replies on their forums, and has also said to me, for those concerned about not getting Snow Queen Elsa's costume this time around, this costume will be coming back in the future.
Cool.
That's all I know. That's all they've said. You can take that however you want to take it. Back in the future is kind of like, 1.21 gigawatts of trying to guess what's going on. But that makes me feel like, at least that comment makes me feel like in some time in the future, who knows when, her costume will be available to get in some method other than in a chest. So take it as you want for that. Speaking of chests, Legendary Chest Sale has been happening over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I guess, going on. And have you bid on any of the Legendary Chests while they're on sale?
I did. Now I'm trying to remember what I bought. I think I bought Lilo and Stitch. I bought a chest bundle for them. I think.
Did you buy Mulan like I've been telling everyone to do?
No. The only one I need on that is Cricky. I think I have almost everything else.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
No, I'm lying. I need a building too, but for some reason I couldn't. At the time, I just couldn't purchase it. But what did I buy, Steven? I bought something. I bought a chest bundle, but I can't remember which cast it was that I was trying. I ended up getting what I needed, so that was good, but I can't remember which one it
I'll have to go through our chat and
I know.
tell you. Okay. Well, good. Yeah. I hope you guys did too. Last year, I definitely bit a lot on these bundles. They were fantastic. Speaking of which, the Elsa's Snow Queen costume is available in the Frozen Legendary Chest, which is available today. So if you are watching and not listening, because you won't hear this in time probably, you can get the bundle for $7.99 instead of $9.99 US dollars. And it is a legendary item, but you are guaranteed an epic or legendary. Does that mean that you will get Elsa's tiara epic concession stand every time? If you're me, the answer is yes. Which is, man, my luck with these is so bad. I don't even want to tell you. It probably cost like $35 for me to get Honeybee, or $40 for me to get the Honeybee costume. So, anyway, so that's going to be that's in there now, or you can wait to see what's coming in the future, as far as that goes.
I looked it up. It was Big Hero 6.
Ah, right. Who did you get?
I got Honey Lemon.
Nice.
And Fred and Wasabi. And I got
that's a good chest.
San Francisco attraction also.
Wow, that's a nice.
That was good. Well, I only had Go-Go and Hero, so nice. I feel like I made out like a bandit with that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so cool. January rewards came out. Obviously, most of you have seen it by now. The 14th is the end of this event. The only other thing that really sticks out on this calendar is on the 24th and 25th. There's the cherry blossom tree, and then there's the Mulan chest on the 25th.
Yep.
So the interesting thing about those is that they're not on days that normally an event would begin. And also 5 days after the legendary chest, there is no like ruby or magical or whatever type chest, which makes me believe that there's no tower challenge. So who knows? We might get that well-needed break that we all have been asking for. So we'll see what's coming up. I mean, it'd be very unlikely for it to be like that. There's just been so much going on, but we will have to see. All right. So bundles. So there's some bundles. Obviously, there's the First Order. Okay, so now we're getting into Star Wars. Anything else to say before we get into Star Wars, Alison?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Star Wars it is. There are some bundles. Yep. First Order Stormtrooper bundle. was available for $3.99. We talked about that last week. Same thing with the Parade Bundle. And the Enchantment Bundles, which were available once you build attractions. And now in the store, the even bigger than bigger Event Currency Bundle is available. It's 250 gems and 15,000 EC for $9.99. There's also the Resistance X-Wing Bundle, which is an awesome attraction. Definitely get your hands on it one way or another. It's the Resistance X-Wing plus 15 Star Wars relics plus 20 common blueprints plus 10 Kyber cereals. Basically, it's the attraction, 20 gems and enough to get it to level 2 for $4.99. Or you could buy it for 150 gems. You said you got it. Did you buy the bundle or did you use gems?
I got the bundle. So you know what? That's probably what put me ahead with the Star Wars relic.
There you go. There you go.
I typically don't buy the enchantment bundles or the currency bundles, but usually because I can play often. Okay, if I couldn't play often, I might be tempted to purchase them. But because I can check in pretty often, I normally don't need to.
Right.
But other bundles, characters, and attractions, the parade, I'm always usually all for. So
cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a bundle within a bundle, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a bundleception.
It's a double bundle. A debundle.
It's a bundle. All right. Also, finally, the BB-8 bundle was BB-8 plus 3 Cobalt chests for $5.99, or he was 300 gems. Did you buy him or use gems?
I bought him.
Awesome. Well, welcome BB-8.
Yes, he's very cute.
He's very cute, and he's a big helper. Huge helper.
Yep.
So, there. Okay, so now we're going to get into week 2. Do you have the notes in front of you, Allison?
I do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to kind of take over and talk a little bit about what's going on. I have to step away for 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
No problem. So, guys, the first thing that we had to do when week 2 started was welcome General Hux. So the requirements for him were 30 Kyber crystals, which were common, 18 First Order emblems, which were uncommon, 15 General Hux ears hats, which were uncommon, and 6,500 EC. In order to welcome him, you needed to have 6 hours. Wait, hold on a second. Was he a 6-hour welcome? No. Was he? Maybe he was. And 6-hour welcome. And then I'm looking at a note that says 50 EC reward. Oh, for, I imagine, sending him on his first task, maybe. Then we had a task with Poe, and that required the tread speeder base, which was 6 hours. And Finn, who also needed the tread speeder base. Finn had to be level 4. That was a 4-hour task and a 50 EC reward for that. Then we had to build the resistance speeders, which was so awesome. I absolutely love that attraction. That's so cool. Poe had to be level 4 in order to build it. It cost 8,000 event currency, and you got a 50 EC reward, I imagine, for building that.
Hi, I'm back. Thank you for that.
Is that what you're meaning by that, Stephen? Is
what?
a 50 EC reward for building it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you don't need to talk about that. I just kind of copied that from somewhere else.
That's okay. Okay, so then after that, after we built the resistance speeders, then the next step is you have to send Finn and Poe to the cantina for 4 hours. Then you send Poe to the resistance speeders for 6 hours and Finn for 8 hours. After that, we've got General Hux and Poe to the tread speeder base. And for that one, General Hux actually had to be level 2. That was a 4-hour combined task. And then we've got Finn at the resistance speeders. He has to be level 5, and that task is 6 hours. So that was all of week 2 up to welcoming Rey.
Yes. So what were your thoughts on that, on welcoming Hux? Like, did you feel, how did, so far, so we're going, this happened right after Christmas through New Year's, so everyone was busy, everyone was tired from Christmas. So how do you feel the pacing was on this? The and everything
Personally,
around that.
yeah. I mean, personally, I felt like the pacing was pretty good. I for some reason I felt like General Hux took a while for me to collect for, but then once I was able to enchant that one building, it dropped both of his tokens, right? So at that point he was a lot easier to collect for. But I really didn't feel like during the holiday season it was daunting. I did not feel like that at all. It was kind of nice that it took a while, I think, for me to collect for him. Because I just felt like that was happening, but because it was taking a while, like I could still focus on family time. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. The pacing was good. I think that General Hux was intentionally designed to take a long time.
Slow down, yeah. It's slow down, I felt like
they wanted to kind of. My opinion is they wanted to kind of just have a slow but steady kind of thing that would happen at the end of the year through New Year's.
Yeah.
Because
I felt like the tasks to collect for him were kind of longer.
They were. I feel like they were 6 and 8 hours for common and uncommon, or for uncommon tokens. So,
right. So even though they were dropping pretty much every time,
right,
it was lengthy. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So you expect to take 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Michelle Johnson, then it takes about 45 minutes.
Let's to go quickly, yeah.
And that's a lot because she's awesome. We love you, Michelle. You're the best. So I think that once you got them, and then things kind of just went pretty quickly and pretty steadily, after that. I don't think it was hard. You needed to get, at this point, you needed Poe at 4, you needed Hux at 2, Finn to 5. I don't feel like if you were just kind of, playing the event and kind of sending people out to collect tokens, which is like what you do in this game, then I don't feel like the levels were anything absurd.
No, I feel like they were good.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty spot on. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't worried about leveling. So so that was week 3. And
that was week 2.
Week
right?
Week 2. So let's talk week 3. Why don't you walk us through that one too?
Okay, so week 3 started off with us welcoming Rey. She required 50 Kyber crystals, which were common, 14 of her Rey's staffs, which were uncommon, and then 8 of her ears hat, which were rare. She also cost 14,000 event currency, and it took 2 hours to welcome her. Then you had to face the interrogation droids.
Battle droids!
Yes, battle droids 6 times. So you needed 2 of the EMPs and 1 fusion cutter. And that kind of unlocked simultaneously once you were able to welcome Rey. After that, you are fighting, we're kind of like at the same time. This kind of like you had to kind of juggle, like, okay, what am I doing? I was still like kind of fighting droids in the background. And then it was like, oh, wait, I had to, whatever, anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Whatever, my thing. After that, after you fight the droids, then you had to switch gears and fight Kylo Ren, and you had to battle against him 20 times. And once you defeated the droids, that was unlocked for you. In order to send your characters out to fight against him, you had to have Finn at level 5, Poe at level 6, the First Order Stormtrooper at level 1 or 2, and General Hux at 4, or I'm sorry, misspoke. General Hux at level 3, Rey at level 2, and BB-8, if you had him, only needed to level 1, so just welcomed into the park. And each of those tasks were 4 hours. So that was that. And then after you've completely battled Kylo Ren, then Rey had a 4-hour task. Poe had a task at level 5, which is 4 hours. This was like a 3-part task. So you had Poe at level 5 for a 4-hour task. Finn at level Finn was at level 5 for a 4-hour task, and then Rey had to be level 2 for a 4-hour task. And then that was after Rey's 4th quest. Then the next step was Poe had a 6-hour task. And once you completed it, you got the last task of the week, or of this part of the story, which was Rey and Finn go on kind of like a dual quest together. And Rey had to be level 3. Her part was 6 hours, and Finn had to be level 6, and his part was 4 hours. So that kind of rounded out this part of the story, and the next step is just kind of waiting to welcome Kylo Ren. So
yeah. So awesome. Thank you for the recap. So let's go back to the beginning then of week 3 and welcoming Rey.
Yes.
What was your thoughts on? So it was very interesting because we had Rey at the same time. You know, we had to welcome Rey, and we had long quests. We had uncommon stuff and her ears. What about pacing? Let's talk pacing again. And Rey, what did you think?
Pacing I still felt was pretty good. And, you know, I kind of thought that it would be harder to welcome her. I thought that, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of this wrong, but I kind of thought that both of her tokens would be rare. And the one is uncommon, so I don't know. I didn't have a hard time at all really welcoming her. I felt like her drops were pretty good. So yeah, I felt like pacing was pretty. I feel like she, you know, her tokens dropped pretty well for me. How about you?
I was very surprised that she had uncommon token.
Yeah. Were you expecting rare too?
I was expecting rare.
Yeah. So I'm not crazy. Like this hasn't happened.
And I feel like the last few events we've been expecting harder things, and they haven't been coming. Like I remember expecting like epic at the end of the last event, and it was rare.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wonder if they're gonna do that again.
It might be. I mean, we haven't had a rare yet. What would make you think? I mean, I could see it being epic rare, you know, and not epic. But I don't know. We'll see. I definitely don't see a legendary coming out.
No, and there's not like a costume to earn at the end of this event either.
No, I mean, according to the event, page here, or the event goals, it's just. Welcome Kylo Ren. It's the very last thing. So you just welcome him, and then there'll be some quests, and that'll be the end. It will say thank you for playing Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's interesting there.
I kind of have a theory about that though, a little bit.
Okay.
I kind of think that because Star Wars has such a huge fan following, it's such a big IP. I kind of feel like more people would be drawn to this game by them doing this Star Wars event. So I almost wonder if this event is geared more toward newer players, players who might join the game because we are doing a Star Wars event now.
Makes perfect sense.
And then it makes it a bit more reasonable to kind of get far enough into the event or to possibly finish an event. I don't know. Just my thoughts, kind of just thinking.
Yeah, it's a good thought. I like it. Okay, but let's get back. So we have battle droids after the welcome. So as I said, I think her welcome was easy. Her staffs dropped quickly. Her ears, while they took long, were pretty easy, especially if you had BB-8.
Yep.
So battle droids, it didn't feel like they were difficult.
Nope. And you had a lot more people collecting for them.
You had a lot more. Yep. So I felt they were fine. I enjoyed the Kylo Ren fight.
That was cool.
It was cool. I found the animations for the characters to be really cool. It was the same animations for the characters you had in the fight for the first round. So you had You had the First Order Stormtrooper, Finn,
Oh,
Hux, and Poe the first time, but now you had Rey and BB-8. So BB-8 was kind of like being sneaky and kind of like
yes.
doing some stuff in the background, and then Rey with her lightsaber. They really did a
That
really
was the
good job.
coolest.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah, it looks so cool. It looks so well done. Yeah, I love that.
Well,
Yep.
I shouldn't say her lightsaber. I should say a lightsaber.
Yeah.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, so I really enjoyed that. And then after that, I felt it was kind of smooth sailing. You know,
Yep.
I didn't have. I was one level behind for everybody. So as I got to like a thing, and it said like you need to get Poe to 5. So I'm like, all right, level him.
You had them ready.
You
Yeah.
have to get Finn to 6. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. Finn's to 6. So I had to get a whole bunch of people one level up.
Mhm.
But I had
Yes,
like,
I had to do that too.
but I had like 4 days left
Yeah.
in the event, so I wasn't nervous
Right. You could
that
take
leveling
time.
them up would like that I wouldn't be able to finish
Yep.
collecting for them and cause a
Yep.
conflict. So
Yeah. The only thing that I like kind of that was surprising to me was that in order to face Kylo Ren, Poe had to be level 6. I had him ready for level 5. So I was able to level him up to 5, but he wasn't at 6 yet. So I still needed to collect for him to get to 6. But it ultimately didn't matter because I had the premiums. So for me to not have him, it wasn't going to save me any time. You know what I mean?
right,
Because
yeah,
you still had to battle him 20 times. So even if I couldn't send out everybody, I still had to send them all out like 4 times,
right, yeah, yeah,
or five times, I guess, or whatever. So yeah, I had 5 characters working to fight him instead of 6. But even if you had 6, you still had to send them all out,
right,
however many times. Yeah.
yep.
So
Yep. So that's it. So that's where we're at now. We're waiting
Yep.
for Kylo Ren to come out.
Yep.
And when he's available, he was so today is Wednesday night, so he'll be available Friday morning,
Mhm.
at Rope Drop, and you'll have 6, 5. You'll have 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days to welcome him and finish the storyline, which seems more than sufficient.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. So,
Yep.
so any final thoughts on Star Wars before we move on?
No, I'm enjoying the event quite a bit. It feels more relaxed for me a little bit, but I like that. So, yeah. But I feel like pacing has been pretty good and kind of relaxed, which I feel like we all kind of needed that over the holiday season too. So
Yeah, I think that was
no
all.
complaints.
Yeah, I think that was also very intentional,
Yeah.
for them to have a lighter load off over the holiday season,
Yep.
and that makes sense, and
Mhm.
that's a smart thing for them to do. So,
Yep. I think so too.
all right, let's moving on. So we talked about the level requirements. Okay, so there were a couple of mini events. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. There were striking golds that have appeared. The striking gold events are ones where you have to collect trophies in the kingdom, and the trophies are given from the during this event the Wreck-It Ralph characters, the Wreck-It Ralph attractions, as well as Star Wars characters, and your typical premium characters, which would be
Pluto.
Pluto and Rex,
Mhm.
and then Jumpin' Jellyfish also as a random
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
Which, if you don't have Jumpin' Jellyfish, get it.
Yeah.
It's
It's super helpful.
It's super helpful, especially with Michael Darling ears, and well,
And
actually, you have to
cool.
enchant it now, but huh?
It looks so cool.
Yeah,
It's very colorful. I have it with my Finding Nemo's.
yeah, I like it very much.
Yeah.
So anyway, rewards for those are the gold trophy. Now it's interesting. The gold trophy, I was saying for a while that they were getting very relaxed with handing things out.
Yeah.
They were giving top 100, top 500, things. They made you work for it. Top 50.
They did.
Had to get the gold trophies. My first, so you get top 50 for gold trophies. Then there were also Cobalt chests that they were giving away, and common blueprint tokens. And rank 1 through 5 got 4 Cobalt chests. 6 through 20 got 3 Cobalt chests. 21 through 50 and below got 2 Cobalt chests. And also some common blueprint tokens as well. I busted my hump, and I got lucky. My first trophy go around that everyone in my leaderboard actually slept at night for 8 hours.
That's rare.
I went to sleep and I woke up at the same rank that I was at. It was unbelievable. So I was able to keep pace. I was in the low 40s for the most of the event, or high 50s. So I actually collected 2 times the last night. I woke up and I was like, all right, I'll just collect real quick. And I made it. I was ranked 49.
Just barely.
And I actually gemmed.
Nice.
I think I mentioned this on the last one, but I actually gemmed 2 trophies. So, but I did get it, so I was really excited about that. It came around a second time. I did not try very hard the second time over the holidays and the fact that I already had one. So, were you able to place top 50?
I did, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, Alison.
Yeah, I don't recall exactly where I was, but yeah, somewhere in the top 50. And I think I got 2 Cobalt chests from that. So yeah.
Awesome. Very good. It's nice to have those. Those are much more needed now that there's going to be throw zones.
I know. Yeah, but they did make you work for it a little bit.
They did. They sure made you work for it.
Yeah.
All right, then we also had spooky spiders. I don't know why they've had so many spooky spiders this event. But they're back. Spooky spiders are there. It's every 2-hour spawn. I really like 4-hour spawners better. But here it is. But the interesting thing about the spooky spiders, it's been all happiness.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been...
Well, there's gems this time around, too, to work for.
Right, there's gems this time around, but, you know...
Yep. It has been a lot of happiness.
A lot of happiness. People are very happy getting happiness. But, I don't know, it's been interesting. You know, I just feel like I work harder for chests.
Yeah. Oh, I do, too. Yeah. Well, I mean, depending. If there are things in there that I don't have yet.
Well, not all of us have all the concession stands, Alison.
I'm just saying.
But,
so are you saying like I should be more relaxed and like let other people win?
Yes.
Probably.
Let it go.
Probably let it go.
No, get your gems. Get your 40 gems because that's 2/3 of a way from you opening up a chest and getting a legendary item. Her luck's ridiculous, everybody. Let me tell you, our chat, our moderator chat when we talk is just every day. It's look what I got.
Look, yay!
And with yellow, orange stars around
Well, it's because I'm always surprised too.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So anyway, anything about before we go, anything about the mini events you want to talk about?
No, I mean, as much as I hate spiders personally, the spooky spiders is really one of the best tappers because they're big and they move quickly, so you can see them pretty fast. You know what I mean? Pretty well. So
yeah, I can't complain about the size of the spiders.
I will say though, I fell asleep while I was collecting one time.
You fell asleep while you were collecting.
I was looking for them, and I couldn't find the last one. And I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, "Crap! Now I don't have in 8s anymore. Like now I have to be like, crap! How many do I need now?"
So now you have 15, 20, 23.
Right? Yeah, I'm like one behind. Yeah, everybody else.
They're making you do math.
I know.
I think every time I'm gonna make you do 7 at one point, or maybe I'll pick a random number.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
So that'll teach you. Make sure you stay awake when you're collecting for them.
Stay awake when you're playing the game.
Yep.
Okay. Don't drink and play.
don't sleep and play.
Allison had a little bit too much eggnog while she was collecting spiders.
I must have.
All right. So anyway, it is the Allison recommended segment. The Disney joke of the week. Well, I got 3 for you this week. It's a trifecta of jokes, okay? Because I liked them. I was looking them up. I liked them.
Perfect.
Okay. Which website did Chewbacca get arrested for creating?
Which one?
Wookiee leaks.
WikiLeaks! Yeah! But
All right. Why is Yoda such a good gardener?
why?
Because he has a green thumb.
Ah!
Why can't you trust Yoda to pick up his tab?
Why?
Because he's always a little short.
But those were pure gold. Really.
No.
Really and truly.
No, not at all. All right. All right. Let's just move right on into it. Get it going.
Is it worth it?
Not this week.
Okay. Moving on. Ready?
3, 2, 1. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I feel like that's probably our best.
That's probably our best.
I think so.
Feature report is a segment where we talk about ideas and features we'd like to see implemented into the game. So I've been keeping an eye on things here, and well, the first thing I see is that we had a very important. I put up a post for people in case they had any last minute feature reports that they wanted to see on the show. It was very important. Probably the most important one was from Ann Brewer, who is in the audience today.
Yes.
She says, we need more land.
Yep.
Give us more land, please. So Ann is directly asking for me to give her more land. Ann, here is more land. You got it.
You got it, Ann.
Done. Ann Brewer, I just took care of you. You're welcome. There you go. Okay, moving on. I wish I could give everyone land. Why can't I do that? Why don't I have the power to give everyone land? Okay.
I feel like you should be able to, honestly.
I pulled this from Jen Ben. Jen Ben was talking in the crowd, and so I wanted to pull this in. Jen Ben said, "I'd love a collect all button for characters and attractions." So,
yes.
Yeah, to just put everyone away, right? Mm-hmm. Just to now there's the kingdom builder allows you to put all attractions and all decorations and things in a zone, but it also does have kingdom as an option for that, right? I'm 99% sure. Right?
Does she mean like a Merlin collecting tokens?
No, because she wrote this when we were talking about rebuilding the park. So yeah, so if you go click on something and you click on all, you could do store all buildings in zone or kingdom, right? So So you can put everything in the kingdom away, but not if it has a character in it. Right? It won't put things that have people that have tasks in. So you have to send all to home, which I guess you could do with the new home feature, right? Is it that easy?
I think it is.
To send all home? Like if you go to home,
as long as you've collected from them and they're not like currently out on a task, I think you can just click them all and then they would all go.
Right. If you go to visiting home, manage, and then you go to send home, you can just click them all, right? As long as they're
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been using the other one a lot, send to kingdom.
Right. I do it that way. But yeah, no. I mean, listen, one button to just say, whoosh, clear my kingdom would be cool. I don't know how many times people would complain because they hit that button and their whole kingdom was wiped away. Yeah. But I still think it would be cool to hear those people. Okay, I got it. Ann Brewer. Ann Brewer, here is what we're going to do for you. Collect all of your things, right? Take all of your attractions and all of your decoration stuff and put them away. And then close your game out and reopen it. And you'll see a whole lot of open land.
Yes.
Yes.
So much of it.
Tumwater, Washington. Thank you, Ann. It's nice to have you aboard. I hope you know that my sarcasm is just love, and I'm just playing around. Okay. All right. Moving on. So that was it. So that's a feature. Now, you had a feature we were talking about earlier. Did you want to talk about that feature, Alison?
Sure. I was kind of thinking about this a couple of months ago, because when I came into the game, my first event that I was in the middle of, that I just started playing like 4 days before this event started, was the Little Mermaid event. So that means I missed a lot of content before that event started. And as we all know, if you are newer to the game, you didn't start playing by the time they did their first event, the only way to collect those characters is through chests. And at that point, you miss out on the storyline, you miss out on the battle scenes, you miss out on that whole event because there's no way to go back and like replay an event. I was just thinking that it would be really cool if we were able to purchase like an expansion pack for the game, kind of similar to like The Sims, for instance, where you would purchase an event pack. So for me, like I didn't get a chance to play the Lion King event. But it would be nice to kind of be able to do that, collect for those characters, and kind of see the storyline, see how everything went down, because that's fun of it, and I totally missed out. So I just think that would be really cool if we were able to have the opportunity to kind of purchase an expansion pack.
I would love... Yeah. I have all the characters. I've bought them from the legendary chests, right? We established that from last year, right? Anyone that... I started Big Hero 6, so anything pre-Big Hero 6, I bought from chests, that everything. Yep. But I'd still like to buy those expansion packs to play through the story. Yeah.
And I mean, even if you could play through the story at your own pace, maybe, that could be fun and cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fully know how that would, like, if it could run kind of in the background while you were doing,
right?
I don't know how it would work with other events.
It would be like you know how like you have your kingdom quests and your side quests. You'd have your Winnie the Pooh quests.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or maybe if you purchased an expansion pack, you could pause it if an actual event was happening, and then pick it back up when.
But why would you even need to pause it though? If it's just, it counts as quests, there's no timer.
Well,
there's not chapters. You'd just be kind of playing it through.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
would you want it to play it in a timed type fashion? Because that would never work. You couldn't play it in a timed fashion because there's too many other events going on.
The battle scenes, they're always in the same spot in your kingdom.
Right, exactly. That's true.
So that would kind of be difficult a little bit.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm just I just think that would be kind of cool to be able to play that storyline if you've missed it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, no, I agree. A million %.
It would help me bring more magic into my kingdom.
If you go to Disney Magic Kingdoms, if you go to the actual Disney World, right?
Yeah.
You can go and live whatever store you want.
That's right. And I did last year. Yeah.
So you can. I will be this year. My trip to Disney will be February 17th, the President's Week.
Like next month?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait, you went last year too, right?
Yeah, we go every year. My family goes every year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Anybody from your family want to adopt me?
Yes, we are looking to adopt a person who plays this game who doesn't have any other baggage in her life.
Excellent. Excellent.
No children, nothing. All right.
Okay, I'll leave them home. I can leave them home.
Leave them home. You can go in my suitcase.
Yeah, right. My kids would be like, "Why would you leave without me?"
It's a small suitcase after all.
It is.
All right.
Short.
Yoda. All right. All right. As you can tell, we're getting a little punchy. It's getting late. All right. We're going to go into our last segment for the night, which is now brought to you by Jennifer DeRosa. She wanted to know predictions for the next TC. So, Kingdomers, it's lookout time. Event prep on the double. Predictions, tips, and strategies to keep you out of trouble. Okay. Thank you, MP McClure, for the theme song,
Yes.
as always, of the Clan McClure. So, predictions for the next Tower Challenge. So, I guess, let's look out to the next thing in 2020. Like, we don't have to go too far into 2020. But let's just go into what you think the next thing in 2020 is going to be. Do you think we're going to see a Tower Challenge? Do you think we're going to see a mini event?
I don't know. So much of me is like, oh, we're totally going to see a Tower Challenge. We haven't had one since Snow White's Prince, right?
Right. It's been a while.
It's been so long. I totally was expecting Frozen to be a Tower Challenge, and then it wasn't, and then we had Star Wars. So that threw me a lot. So.
And before Frozen, there was another event, right? It was Coco before
Yes.
Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had a Tower Challenge since the early October.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like we're due for one,
Mm-hmm.
We're overdue, really. So that's what I would imagine. But what would it be?
I mean, I keep saying something Mulan has to happen. I don't know what's going on because it doesn't look like Mulan's going to be a Tower Challenge according to the January rewards. When you look at the timing and the spacing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, you know what though? There are people, when people were talking about Mulan and what a Mulan Tower Challenge would look like, they've been throwing out like 3 or so characters. So maybe we will have a mini event, kind of like the first one. But there's still no indication on the calendar rewards that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's puzzling.
And the new Mulan movie isn't coming out until March 27th, 2020. This year. So I would think that the event would coincide with the movie because just like Frozen, they don't want to put spoilers in the event, right? They can't add new characters. They'd have to add old characters.
Right.
So
I was just going to say, so I guess that just kind of leads me to believe that the chest is on the 25th.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the Chinese New Year.
Yep.
So maybe that's just like a gift.
Yep.
To commemorate, and it doesn't mean anything in particular.
Maybe. It's anyone's guess. It's we're all a little thrown off.
They really are throwing us off. I mean, they really threw us off though, I think, with the Frozen mini event. That was different.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a mini event since the first Mulan one, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. What's they got up their sleeve?
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we will see. That's what I'll say. I think my guess, if I had to make a prediction, because I guess I have to make a prediction, right? Mm-hmm. My guess is, I don't know what to say. I don't think it's Tower Challenge. I just don't, because I feel like the chest would have been there on the 21st.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say mini event. I can't see them giving us 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks off. It just doesn't feel. Yeah. It feels like too much space between events. Mm-hmm. So I say a mini event, I guess. Even a full-fledged event, I feel like I'd see different chests. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
What it looks like to me is there's no indication through the rest of this month that anything is starting.
Yeah.
So then we're looking at February.
Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's battle something.
Oh my gosh, you're probably right.
Maybe it's a battle something. Maybe it's like battle bonsais.
Not a fan, Stephen. You're probably right though. Or they'll do one of those those mini events that they did like back to back to back. It was like a mini event marathon.
Oh, yeah.
That was so stressful.
Yes.
I was like, what? We had them going on at the same time. Like, collect happiness and also like tapper events at the same time, and that was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on.
What do you think the next major event is going to be, though? Like, what character set?
I don't know. People have been asking for Brave for a long time. People have been asking for.
I would be on board for Brave. Sure.
I would be a big fan of Brave.
Yeah.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
I don't really particularly care for Pocahontas, so I could care less if it ever came to the kingdom. People really want to see Pinocchio. I think that would be really fun. I would need to watch the movie again because it's been way too long. Aristocats, people have been talking about. I'd love to see Aristocats in there. There's also, there's
101 Dalmatians.
That would allow for a lot of tower challenges.
Cruella de Vil, I mean, her in the park too.
There's a new, what's the name of it? There's a new movie coming out, a new Pixar movie, right? Onward.
Yes.
Onward is coming out. What's the release date for Onward?
Daniel just posted about it.
Onward release date is March 6th. So it's the top half of March, where Mulan is the second half of March. So I don't know. Maybe it could be like an Onward Tower Challenge into a Mulan event. Or vice versa. It could be an Onward event into a Mulan Tower Challenge. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
It's hard though. You can't start it before March 6th, for spoilers.
Well, so we were talking, I kind of, Daniel posted in the Magical Champions about that, whether or not DMK would do a brand new IP for an event. And I said that I'm not sure that they would, because so far with the events, what they've done, when the releases have happened, they've only ever been sequels to the original film. Frozen 2, obviously sequel to Frozen. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet was the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. And what was it? Was it Lion King they did? Which was, obviously, we've already seen The Lion King our entire lives, but they were kind of coinciding that with the live action movie. So anything that has come out with a release has been something that we've already at least seen or had some sort of background in the original storyline. With this, it would be totally new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know that they would do that. Like, if they decided to do Onward, they might do it. I could see them doing that like next year or something, but not, I don't think they would do it now. Just because we don't even know who these characters are, or what their story is, or, anything.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining us this time for another episode of Around the Kingdom and for our first episode of 2020. It's been an awesome year. In 2019, we grew bigger and stronger, and our community's gotten better and better. And I'm just can't wait to see what's happening and where we're going to be at the end of 2020. So thanks for sticking with me, and Alison and all of us here. We're always here for you. So just join our groups, give a shout out, and we'll talk some DMK. All right. So anything else around the kingdom is no. There are no new 5-star ratings or reviews. So give that a toot. Next week's show will probably be either Tuesday or Thursday again. It was nice to be back on a Wednesday night. Schedules got flipped around. It's nice to be around on a Wednesday night. So maybe next week will be on Tuesday. That's my guess. So we'll have a little Kylo Ren discussion, and we'll do that. Alison, do you have any shout-outs before we go?
Shout-outs just to my kids, Eli and Mari, putting up with me and playing my game with me. So, yeah. That's it.
Your kids are cute.
They're pretty cute.
Your daughter is a clone of you.
You think so?
She is, absolutely. All right. Poor girl. All right. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about, or even if you just want to say hi. You can also check us out on YouTube. If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, please head on over and subscribe to our channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. Also, don't forget to join our Discord channel and chat with us. If you want to help support the show, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of every episode. Listening to the show is all we really can ask for, but if you do want to help us support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. This is a great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. All Patrons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. So again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link is in the show notes. Thanks again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel for myself and Allison. We hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everybody.